We begin right now at 10 o'clock with breaking news as we continue to follow that triple shooting in Greenville County. The sheriff's office believes personal issues led to the shooting, and now one person is behind bars. Fox Sky's Arthur Mondale has reaction and more details out of Fountain Inn.
While the investigation inside this private community is still ongoing, Sheriff Hobart Lewis wants to commend neighbors for their quick thinking and information sharing. A suspect is now behind bars and no longer a threat to the public.
Make you think about things, man. You think about life and what stuff can happen at. I don't care where you live at.
Timothy Mabin was still at work when he noticed trouble in his gated neighborhood.
I check my camera on the house and I see all this.
Marked and unmarked law enforcement vehicles, fire and EMS, yellow caution tape, and a crowd of neighbors with a lot of questions.
I can't tell you about this where I'm in this type of neighborhood, but when you look around the world, stuff happens every day like this. And that's in my backyard.
A tragedy in every way.
According to Sheriff Lewis, neighbors called 911 around 4 in the afternoon Friday and advised them that a female was injured with multiple gunshot wounds at a home on Ivy Woods Court.
She suffered multiple gunshot wounds. She was able to talk to us.
When deputies arrived, they also found 2 people dead inside of the home. All of the victims are believed to be related.
Some personal issues apparently sparked it, and more of that will come out as we interview the suspect. But
Sheriff Lewis says the suspect was caught in Spartanburg thanks to the people who live here.
All these neighbors helped out, assisted us when we arrived, giving us descriptions, vehicle descriptions, and telling us what they saw, what they heard. That helped us get information out very early. And we were on the suspect within probably 45 minutes of it occurring, so we were very fortunate.
Sheriff Lewis says the suspect isn't related to the victims, and as for the shooting survivor, she was life-flighted to a nearby hospital and is recovering. Investigators are also now working with Sheriff Wright in Spartanburg County, but wouldn't give specifics about what led to the incident.
There's more questions than answers right now, I guess.
Neighbors like Mabin say in the last decade that he's lived here, he's never dealt with a shooting, let alone even a robbery, calling the incident a bad look and a reality check. In Fountain Inn, Arthur Mondale, Fox, Carolina News.